Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Monday, 18th of August. In this update, we are well on our way to a collective $1 trillion in debt. In the year to the end of May, New Zealand hit just over $870 billion in gross debt, up 5.4% from almost $830 billion last year. It represents an average of just over $160,000 in raw debt for every person in the country. At the current rate of growth, New Zealand will hit the $1 trillion landmark inside the next 3 years. That rate has eased in the past 2 years as the government has sought to curb borrowing and the housing market has been flat. Correction staff say gangs are making prison violence worse and harder to deal with. On Saturday afternoon, 11 inmates in Waikato's Spring Hill Prison refused to leave an exercise yard, setting several small fires on the property. It took 2 hours for staff to secure the prisoners and extinguish the fires. Corrections Association President Floyd du Plessis is asking the government for equipment like launchers for handling violence.
Those are the types of things that we could use at distance to bring these things to a close very quickly and controlled and without risk of any injury to both staff and prisoners.
A Far North police officer is claiming racism and poor culture within the force is leading many Northland cops to leave. 90 extra police officers have travelled to the region to help relieve pressure. An anonymous officer has revealed an example of what they call systemic racism in the force. An email accidentally sent to all Northland staff by another cop describes an alleged offender in derogatory terms. District Commander Superintendent Matthew Surhoy says the email was highly unprofessional but maintains culture has never been better. 5 unions are attempting to take the government to court over pay equity changes. The Nurses Organisation, Public Service Association and 3 education unions are lodging a High Court challenge later this month over the government raising the threshold to lodge pay equity claims. PSA National Secretary Fleur Fitzsimon says they're asking for a declaration of inconsistency with the Bill of Rights Act.
If we are successful in gaining that, then there will be a report to Parliament and select committee consideration. It should never have come to this.
A foreign affairs expert says Donald Trump played into Vladimir Putin's hands at an Alaska summit over the weekend. The US and Russian presidents had a 3-hour discussion Saturday morning, but it did not result in a ceasefire in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is now scheduled to meet Trump in Washington, D.C. in the coming days. Otago University's Professor of International Relations, Robert Patman, says the pair will make little progress on their own. He says Trump must come to terms with the fact Putin will not stop the invasion unless he's forced to. In sport, Chris Wood has scored twice in Nottingham Forest's opening game of the Premier League football season, helping them to a 3-1 home victory over Brentford. Golfer Ryan Fox's PGA Tour season is over. He's carded a final round, 1 under par 69 at the penultimate event in Maryland, but will remain outside the top 30 to contest the Tour Championship in Georgia this week. And the Tall Blacks have finished 4th at basketball's Asia Cup, losing the bronze medal playoff 79-73 to Iran in Saudi Arabia. I'm Nivareti Manu, and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.